random junk from the archives.
Let's see, time is 8:45. The Hangover was one of those feel-good movies, but it was, of course, about feeling very bad, which set Bradley Cooper on his way to being a very, very big film star.
After the sequel, today sees the opening of the third and final part of the Hangover story. The Oscar-nominated actor has been chatting with Charlie.
The Hangover series has worked so well. Did you know, when you did the first one, that it had that feel about it? Did you ever kind of sense that it was going to work?
You never really know, but you know that when you're laughing, obviously. And we definitely knew that there was something about it that seemed to be playing with the genre that didn't feel like a comedy, just a straight-up comedy when we were doing the first one. It was specifically the scene where Mr. Chow jumped out of the trunk naked on my neck, and it was the sun and Vegas during the day. You know, you never really saw Vegas during the day. And we thought, oh, there's something to this.
But that scene, like the first scene with Mr. Chow, because I'm trying to picture that on paper. When you read the script first.
Well, on paper, he wasn't naked. That was Ken's idea, and that changed everything. Yeah.
Okay, because it would change.
Imagine if imagine it would change the whole entire thing. Yeah.
Yes.
I got this strange email the other day. I wasn't sure what it meant, but now I think it might be from Chow.
Fatty, feels good to be out. I'm close by. Tell no one. I'll be in touch. Ciao. This says Chow. How did you not know this was from Chow?
At the time, I thought it was Chow like goodbye. You know, like Chow, arrivederci.
Mr. Chow seems to have, and the role, he seems to have kind of unlimited license for kind of ludicrously over-the-top behavior generally, but you arguably acting, because on the face of it, you just kind of think, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then it's funny.
Yeah, he has this ability, as does the character of Alan, to say the most outrageous things that if out of any other character's mouth, you know, I think people would, you know, throw stuff at the screen. But when they say it, it's somehow disarming and funny.
Do you remember in the Clouseau films, the Chinese character?
Of course, yeah. Mr. Who? Wait, what was it? It was one word, right?
Name?
It was.
Mr. Well, everyone knows who we're talking about. Do you think that was a sort of a bit of inspiration there?
I really do think it was something with Ken that we watched him create Chow as we were shooting the first one, like the voice. And I remember we all came up with the name Leslie halfway through the movie. He didn't even have a first name until with that scene in the desert, and then we sort of came up with Leslie. And yeah, the Toodaloo and all that stuff. And yeah, it just sort of happened.
I've got the name.
What is it?
Kato.
Kato!
I'm glad I got there before you did.
Yeah, I wasn't even close to Kato.
Where is he? Leslie Chow stole $21 million from me. And I figure the Wolfpack has the best chance of finding him. No! Doug is my insurance.
Can you take Stu instead?
I mean, you're not old at all. You're very young. But
Well, I'm not that young.
Does the memory start to slip a bit?
I mean, obviously I didn't pull Kato out, but I'd say that my memory is unfortunately very intact.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you know, people, because sometimes we do these junkets and say, you know, did you have a lost night or something? You know, I always remembered everything.
Okay.
So, which is not, it wasn't always a good thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, that can be a bit of a curse. My memory's getting worse and worse and worse. It's names.
Names I'm horrendous at.
Really?
I'll never forget your name because my father's name was Charlie. But names I'm not good at.
I've done that in mid-interview sometimes.
Oh,
when
I'm sure.
I've sort of forgotten who. Well, it's not that I've forgotten who I'm talking to. It's just the name disappears.
You forget who you're talking to. Then you definitely should see a doctor.
No, like I know.
That would be insane.
Shall I be honest with you?
Yeah.
I've had this little chip, this little kind of bird on my shoulder.
Right.
When I'm talking to you, Bradley Cooper.
Right.
Do not say Dominic Cooper.
Oh, interesting.
The British actor Dominic Cooper.
Of course.
It's like the little devil on your shoulder. Do not say that.
Not you
and I know
forgetting. That's not you forgetting. That's like an anxiety thing, right?
Yeah. You strike me as a very, very relaxed, comfortable in your skin, very, very famous movie star, which is quite an unusual combination. Would that be a fair analysis, do you think?
I don't know. I mean, the famous people that I've met are very comfortable in their own skin. So I would say, you know, yeah, I mean, Robert De Niro is probably the most comfortable in the skin of any man I've ever met.
And he was a kind of childhood hero of yours, wasn't he?
Yeah. Yet when you do interviews, you would think that he's not comfortable, but that's kind of just who he is.
The whole time you're rooting for this Hemingway guy to survive the war and to be with the woman that he loves.
It's 4 o'clock in the morning, Pat.
I can't apologize. I will apologize on behalf of Ernest Hemingway, because that's who's to blame here.
Yeah, have Ernest Hemingway call us and apologize to us.
Somebody said to me with a kind of a theory about you. This must be so weird. Someone you don't know having theories about you. But the notion that because you're success came to you relatively late, that you'd had a life, that you tried a few things and you'd struggled a bit, had through problems and been through life,
Right.
that maybe that helps you appear to be quite a kind of rounded.
Appear.
I didn't mean to
puts
say
on the veneer that you have.
No, I
a
didn't mean to
facade
suggest it
of.
that way. But I think that's the way people kind of see you.
Well, I definitely think that if I had been in this Hangover series at 21 years old, I'd be completely screwed, for sure. I mean, I think
in what way? You just think it would have gone to your
age.
head?
I mean, you see if you agree with me. Age. One benefit of age is that you realize what's important and what's not. So at 38 years old, I don't suffer something because I know that it's not going to give me what I want anyway. So,
So you get a bit wiser about your choices.
Yeah,
in a way.
or just what things mean to you. You know what I mean? So the idea of fame, it's not going to give me anything. So I'm not going to cherish it.
Wise words.
But it's the truth. It's not really. I mean, right? I mean, there's nothing. I mean, that's the proof. That's just the real. I mean, there's no.
Okay, interesting. Really good to meet you. Thank you very much, Dominic.
You too. Nice. All right, Chuckles.